Hey everybody, it's Kate, the West Coast Paper Crafter from Vancouver Island, Canada. It is April 8th, Monday evening, 7 p.m. And tonight I'm going to show you a really pretty card design using the Color and Contour stamp set from Stampin' Up! With the scallop contour dies and also the basic border dies. So these things are all retiring, so I wanted to get a little bit more use out of them before it's time to say goodbye. So I'm going to flip my phone around and get started. All right, close your eyes because it's going to be a little bit bumpy. All right, I'm just going to adjust my camera so you can see my workstation and bring up comments on the Facebook page so I can catch them as they come in. Hey Nancy, hi Jan, thanks for tuning in. Let's get started. So this is a really easy card design. It doesn't take a lot of prep work. We've got our basic white card base. 5.5 by 8.5. That's scored at 4 1/4 on the 8.5 inch side. Sorry, I just got distracted from my family. It's hard to focus when I've got things going on. The Designer Series paper. This is from the Delightfully Eclectic paper pack that's retiring, and this is 5.5 by 2. I've got a little strip of the same Designer Series paper, which is 5.5 by 1/2. Hey Karen, how's it going? Glad to see you. Basic white, 5.5 by 3 1/4. And then I've just got a piece of basic white for stamping on. So we will get started. The first thing I'm going to do is glue down my Designer Series paper to the bottom of my card front. All right, so just like so. I'm just going to make sure it's all lined up, and then I'll press down and let that glue set. And I'm going to glue down this strip to the inside of the card. Hey Marianne, how's it going? It is also cold and miserable where I am at too. It's a rainy, gloomy day. Okay, so this is just going to the inside, and I typically like to add layers to the inside of my cards, but some of you probably know that there's a price increase coming in our next month, and I'm going to try to be a little bit more frugal and not use as much paper. So we'll see how it goes. Because personally I do like adding extra cardstock on the inside of the card. It just makes it feel a little firmer. It's just my preference. But for the next little bit, I'm going to try to not be so heavy on the paper. But I'll still be heavy on dimensionals because I love to add dimensionals. Okay, so that's glued on, and the next thing that we'll do is we're going to take this basic white, that's 5.5 by 3 1/4, and I'm going to use one of the basic border dies to just take a little bit off of that. So I don't even think I'm going to take off 1/2 inch. So let me just grab my machine. And I forgot to grab Post-it notes, so hopefully this doesn't move when I cut it, but I'm just going to take a little bit off the bottom of that piece of cardstock. Oh, okay, here we go. Oops, I have my machine backwards, so this will be a little awkward. All right, so I'm just going to run that through. Get everything out of the way. And now I'm left with a piece that looks like this. So what I'm going to do is stamp a sentiment on the right side of this piece of cardstock. And because I've got, I think this is garden green, I'm going to use garden green for the sentiment, and the flowers, I'll stamp some flowers and I'll do that in the pinks. So I'll do sentiment in green. I really like this color and contour stamp set. I'm gonna miss it now that it's retiring, so. It's been one of my favorites. So now what I'm going to do is glue this white piece onto the front of the card. And you can choose to either glue it down with Tombow, or if you want, you could even pop it up with dimensionals. But for this card, I'm just going to glue it down. I am a little bit behind with comments. Sorry, guys. Hello, Gail. Hello, Zena. I hope I'm saying your name right. And it's 3 a.m. where you're at. Girl, why aren't you sleeping? And I do need a magnetic plate. You're right, Karen, I do. I do not have one. All right, so I'm just going to glue this down right on top. All right, just like so. And now all I'm going to do is stamp some flowers, cut them out, and stick them on the left side of the card. So I've already got these ready to go, so I'll use the outline. I'll do Berry Burst in the outline, and then Bubble Bath for the fill. So these, I don't know if any of you have this particular stamp set and die, but I'll show you the die. It's a little bit tricky to line up, but I learned a trick, and after that, I can usually line them up pretty easy, but well, I'll just show you when we get there. So I'm gonna do 3, if I left myself enough room. And that's just in the Berry Burst. Berry Burst is one of those colors that I happen to get everywhere, so I'm just going to close this up so I don't make a mess. And now I'll use this fill stamp. See, I've already got Berry Burst on my thumb. It doesn't take long. Certain colors. I'm just like a magnet for certain colors. All right, so I'm inking up the fill stamp in the Bubble Bath. And then I need to line it up to cover it as best I can, because as you can tell, the petals are all different shapes. So there are, I don't know if you can see that, but there's these 2 little petals that are kind of pushed together, and they have the tiniest little bit of separation between the 2. I know that that will line up with this petal on the stamp. So that's how I remember the best placement when I do this 2-step stamping. I'm just going to change position. My voice is probably going to get loud because I'm standing up, so I can get my head over the stamp. And when I stand up, my mouth is really close to the microphone on my phone. So you can see with this stamp, it doesn't fully fill the flower in, and it's not meant to. It's meant to just partially cover it. I don't know if it's supposed to be like a watercolor or abstract, I'm not too sure, but if you don't like stamps that don't fully fill in your image, then this stamp set would drive you crazy. But once you die cut it, I promise you, it looks really nice. Okay, so I've got these stamped. And I've already pre-cut or pre-stamped and cut some of these flowers, simply just because I didn't want to keep everybody watching while I painstakingly cut out 3 flowers. But you can tell that this die, it takes a little bit of time to line it up and figure out where exactly it goes. But what I learned is that there's this one little piece on the die that goes in, but there's 2, right? But the shorter one, I just know from trial and error that it lines up right there. So if I remember that, then lining this particular die up is pretty easy. I just have to remember where exactly it goes. But this is all retiring. This is just was such a great set of dies for all these different layers with the scalloped edges, and it has this nice scalloped border edge as well and cuts out the flowers. So this was such a great set. I think I've had this for a couple years now, so I did get lots of use out of it, and I'm going to get lots of use out of all the new stuff that's coming too. All right, so here are the pieces that I've already stamped and pre-cut. And I'm going to glue down 2, and I'll pop up 1. All right, so I'm just gonna put 1 here. I don't wanna cover up my sentiment. And I'll do another one just off to the side. Like so. All right, and then the last one, I'm just gonna pop up with some dimensionals. So I think everything I've used today, the designer series paper, the stamp set, and both sets of dies, I think they're all on the retiring list. And tomorrow is the last chance sale. It starts tomorrow, so lots of things are going to be on sale. Some things will be up to 60% off, so it's going to be a really good sale, and things go quick. So if there's anything that you have you think you might want to try to get things ordered before they sell out. So I'm just adding some rhinestone basic jewels, and that's it. That is it for this card. So super easy design. If you have a border die, any sort of border die would work, and any stamp would work, and any designer series paper. So that's it. So I'm still not quite sold on not having any inside layers because it just feels a little bit flimsy to me, but I'm going to play around and see if I can get past that, or maybe buy some like thick basic white. So we'll see. And speaking of the last chance sale, I was playing around with the Taco Fiesta stamp set a couple days ago, and I made this card, which I just love. And when I checked online, the set's already gone. So it went before it even went on sale. So, but I just love this one. I love that the greens and the blue, this is Coastal Cabana, and the ribbon is Pool Party. And one of my friends had made a comment about how nice I can tie a bow, and I'm telling you, it is not my bow tying skills, but the ease of this particular crinkle ribbon that was one of the celebration items this year. This ribbon just ties so beautifully and makes the nicest chunky bows. So it's not my skill, it's 100% the ribbon. So hopefully in the new catalog there'll be ribbon that ties beautiful bows. Hey Robin, you're on the ferry. Ooh, headed to the island, are you? Thanks for tuning in. So that's it. A few things I wanted to talk about. First off is last chance sale starting tomorrow. So if you haven't heard, there's going to be lots of things that are retiring that will be on sale. Some things could be as much as 60% off. And if you're a demonstrator, you still get your discount too, plus whatever the sale discount is. So you can get some really great deals tomorrow. And I think it goes till the end of the month. April 28th, I'll be hosting online on my Facebook page a Latte Love class, and it's free for anybody to join. Free option, but I also have a Make It Easy package. So if you're my customer and you spend $50 in my online store or through any order directly through me, then you're going to get all the card kits for the online class, and you don't have to do any prep work. Oh, one other thing. Some of you I've already reached out to about this, but in May, my next in-person class is going to be a Memories and More class. So as long as I can get online early enough to get a bunch of these card packs, I am going to do a class with the Memories and More card pack and matching envelopes and card bases. And these are in the mini catalog, but they're retiring. So they're going on sale tomorrow for a pretty good deal. So the class itself is going to be pretty cheap, and you'll have enough supplies to make at least 20 cards, and you'll probably have some pieces left over. So if you're interested in doing that, there will be an online part, but there's also going to be a printable PDF of all the card designs that you get to keep, and I'll send it to you electronically. You can print it off. Hey Tanya, thanks for tuning in. Anyway, so in person, I'll probably do Facebook videos as well, because I've got designs for 10 cards. So I'm not sure that we'll be able to power through making all 10 cards in one session in person, but anyway. So if you want in on the Memories and More card class that I'm hoping to put on in May, these are the card designs that we'll be doing. All the extra pieces like the twine, the extra cardstock, anything that's embossed, those things I'll do for you. So, but the card bases and most of the images are going to be in the card pack. So there is just so many things you can do with these Memory and More card kits that I feel like it deserves its own class. So some of you already know about this. I'm going to send you messages later tonight, see if you want in. And tomorrow morning, as soon as I wake up, I'm going to put an order in and hope I can grab these Memory and More packs when they go on sale and be able to do a class. So yeah, I'm going to turn my phone around. And oh, one last thing on my list. May 18th is the Crafty Spring Social that myself and the Canadian Stamper will be hosting. So if you haven't heard about it and you want to come, that's May 18th. It'll start at 10 and it goes to 3. And we're going to have make and takes, a goodie bag station, prizes, games, a grand prize. Perhaps one of the prizes might be this amazing crinkle ribbon that ties the most beautiful bows, like this one. So if you want in, send me a message or reach out to the Canadian Stamper, because we have a few spots left. So it's not filled up yet, but these things do fill up fast because they're so much fun. Now, did I mention the grand prize? I can't remember if I did. Anyway, the grand prize is going to be a mini cut and emboss. So pretty sweet deal and really good odds because we don't have space for a ton of people. So that's it. Thanks everybody for tuning in live. And if you, oh, hey Jen, nice to see you. If you catch this on a replay, just say hello, tell me where you're from. And if you make tonight's design, post it because I love to see what you guys come up with. So that is it. Some of you I'm going to see on Sunday at my last in-person class at the East Sioux Call, at least until September. So I'm looking forward to seeing some of my friends in person, and that's it. I'm going to call it a night. So goodbye everybody, and thanks again for tuning in.